topic today is teaching activity design in an EFL classroom. And I know it's a pretty big topic to cover in 3 hours, so I'm going to try my best to touch as many areas as possible. And hopefully we all learn something and go home with a smiley face. Okay, so a little bit geography lesson here. Now we are right here at the green area in Hsinchu City. Are you new to the city? Please raise your hand. You're new to the city. Oh, so what about you three? I know she's been around.
I've been here more than a year.
Oh, okay.
I've been here a couple of months since the beginning of this year.
Okay, that's nice. That makes sense.
I taught here the 4 years before
Oh,
at some
okay.
mini train.
Now I started.
years each.
Okay, I started to get worried because I thought you guys are total like you don't have much experience here nor the teaching experience. So you all have teaching experience before, right? Okay, good. I hope that I'm not going to bore you. Okay, well, I'm from Taoyuan County. That's where the yellow arrow here. And so we're kind of like neighbors. Now, when you look at the map of Taiwan, what does it remind you of? What does it look like?
Tea leaf.
A tea leaf.
Leaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fat bird with the mouth.
Fat banana.
A banana?
Sweet
That's good.
potato. Sweet potato. Yeah. Chili.
Yeah, that's what we.
Upside down chili. Yeah.
That's what most Taiwanese think. That looks like it looks like
Yeah.
yeah. And it is used to be food for poor people because that's the only thing they can afford. They can afford them. Nowadays they become very trendy and one of the healthiest diet in Taiwan. And people actually develop quite a few ways to consume it. I'm not sure. Have you tried that? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. And so my teaching goal today is one, help you to prepare mentally. I'm going to share some scenarios that you're going to come across in the classroom. And of course, we're going to cover some effective strategies, activities that you can use in your classroom. I'm not sure how many of you have experience in teaching in public school. If you have, raise your hand. Okay. So the others, you might have experience in teaching in Bushiban, right? Okay. So these two places, the teaching context is quite different from each other. Yeah, just something to remember of. And we're going to cover some classroom management as well. So here's teaching tip number 1. Now you need to establish ground rules. Can you read aloud the sentence for me, please? Yeah, so since you have already taught in Taiwan for several months or years, then you must have observed that there are no exception of disruptive behavior in the classroom. So you have to set ground rules as early as you can. And I'm hoping that I can leave you some resources that you do know where to get help, both in terms of, in regards of professional and also in personal well-being. So I'm going to share something about me, and later on you're going to tell me a little bit information about yourself. I'm not a local here, but I did spend a few years here. I attended a local senior high. So Hsinchu has always been a pretty special place for me. It means freedom and independence, away from home, from the protection of my family. And after a few years, I went to Taipei and continued my education. I was majoring in journalism, so was supposed to be a journalist, but after a few months of trying, I know that it's not going to work for me. So instead of being a journalist, I went to a radio station. And no, I wasn't a broadcaster, I was a copywriter. And I wrote thousands of commercial advertisement for my customers. And yes, I did occasionally got invited into a recording room and wrote my vocal for the advertisement. So I was really love that job until broadcasting industry started to fade out a little bit from the market. So I started to change job frequently until one day I realized I was applying for the 5th position within 1 year. And there was a time my governments started to install English education in elementary school. And they want English teachers badly. So after a year of training, I became an English teacher. So my position is for English as a subject teacher. And I teach several years, and until one day I realized I could really need a break from kids. So I applied a study leave to Australia.
I can hear it. I was going to ask you that if you stayed in Australia, because you have an Australian accent in certain
I
ways.
still have that.
Yeah.
That's really funny because when I was in Australia, people ask me, where did you get that American accent? Yeah. So anyway, I spent a year there, and funny enough, my major wasn't English nor education again. I was majoring in international communication. So it's kind of still relative to my profession, I guess.